welcome to this week's Redeemer Tots video. Let's start with our hello song. Hello everyone, hello everyone, hello everyone, it's good to see you here. So, you might remember that this last couple of weeks we've been looking at how God made the world and how He made all the different things in it. He made the plants and the sky and the sea, and He made the animals. And then the week after that we looked at how He made the people. He made the first people called Adam and Eve, and how He made us to be just like them. Then last week we looked at how Adam and Eve broke the rules and didn't do what God said. And God told them that they had to leave the garden. Let's look in our bag and find out what we're going to be looking at this week. So let's have a look. What have we got in here? We have got a flower. We have got some leaves. We have got a pine cone. These are all things that God made in the world around us. I think today again we're going to be thinking about the world that God made. Lily and I went out for a walk the other day to have a look at some of the things that God made. We made a little video for you to watch. Hope you enjoy it and see how many things you can spot that God made. Right, we're going to go out for our walk now, Lily, okay? Come on then.
No, because it will get electricity and we need to turn the TV off before we do.
Oh yeah. Lily, do you remember what we were talking about? Can you see the tree over here?
Yeah.
Do you know who made the tree?
God.
God made the tree, didn't He? And can we find anything else that God made?
The plants.
Plants, yeah. God made the plants. Insects up there. What's that up there in the sky?
The sun.
Did God make the sun?
And the sky.
And God made the sky. And look here, there's a little ant, I think. Oh, did God make the ant?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know, I don't like ants. I think I might squash it. That's...
No, don't squash it.
Why not?
God made the animals and they're special.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, I've finished my crisps. I was gonna... Nah, don't need them anymore.
No, Mummy.
What?
You need to pick your rubbish up because then animals might die.
Oh. Oh, thank you, Lily. So, did you see in the video all the different things that God made from the world around us? We managed to find quite a lot of things, didn't we? But, you know... Oh, hang on a minute. I've just noticed that there's some other things in this bag I forgot about. Shall we empty it? Shall we have a look? What's in here? Oh, hang on. We've got... Oh, this is a load of rubbish. Why is that in the bag? I thought we were learning about things that God made in the world. God didn't make rubbish. But you know, sometimes when we look around the world, when we go out for our walks and we look around, we can see all rubbish on the floor. And you know, in the video, Lily told me off for dropping some rubbish, didn't she? Whoops. And there was lots of other things I think Lily was talking about that I was doing that wasn't very good to look after the world. Do you know, God, when He made the world and He made Adam and Eve, He said that they had to look after it, and He wants us to do the same. Let's watch a little video that explains a little bit more about how we can look after God's world.
Hey guys, look at this flower that I made. Today we're going to be talking about taking care of the world God gave us. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas. And yeah, so I made this flower. Well, I didn't really make it, but I helped it grow, and lots of other flowers too, because my mom gave me this patch in the garden, this area in the garden that I got to call my own, and I decided to grow some flowers in it. And it was really hard work to grow flowers. I didn't realize how much work went into it, but you gotta water them if it's not raining, and you've gotta take care of the weeds. You gotta pull up the weeds so they don't choke up your little flowers. And you also gotta look out for bugs too. Like if there's any bugs there, you gotta spray for the bugs so they don't eat your flowers. And then also sometimes if it gets too cold, you got to go out at night and cover them up with a blanket or something so they don't freeze. And so it takes a long time to grow flowers too, a long time. Like it takes about a month. But after they're all grown, then you've got these nice little flowers. And so I got these flowers, and I went and I gave them to a whole bunch of people. I gave one to my mom, and I gave one to my dad, and I gave one to the neighbor lady, and I gave one to my Sunday school teacher. And I even gave one to my dog, Roscoe, which it turns out was kind of a mistake. Because you see, everybody, when I gave them a flower, what they did was they were like, "Oh, Douglas, thank you for the flower. That's so nice." So, they'd say something like that. And especially my mom, she took the flower and she put it in a vase, and she put it up on the kitchen table, and she gave it some plant food and some water, and she put it in a nice spot. And that made me really happy when they took this thing that I made for them, because it took me a long time, and everybody was really glad to have it. But when I gave it to my dog, Roscoe, I called him in. I said, "Hey, Roscoe, boy, I got something for you." And he comes in, he's like, and he walks up to me, and I say, "Here you go, Roscoe. I made you this flower." And he bites it in his mouth, which that's okay, because, he doesn't have thumbs, so he's got to pick things up with his mouth. So I didn't mind that he picked it up with his mouth. But he took it in his mouth, and then he went, and petals were flying everywhere. There was flower stuff all over the place. And then he's just had the green part, and even that, he put it on the ground, and he stepped on it with one foot, and he pulled on it with the other foot, and he ripped it in half, and then he ate half of it, and he didn't even like it, so he threw it up on the floor, and then he just walked away. And I'm standing there, and I'm just like, why would you do that? Oh, I was so mad at Roscoe. I was so sad. I wasn't just mad. I was sad because I made this nice thing for him. I made this nice flower. But, well, okay, so it wasn't this flower, because this flower still looks good, but it was a different flower. And I felt so bad that he took this thing I made for him, and he just destroyed it. And that made me not feel very happy about this nice thing I'd given him. God made a gift for us. Just kind of like I made this flower for my friends and my family. God made a gift for us, and that is the earth. The whole planet Earth, the whole world God made for us. Yeah, he made it just for people. He made it just for us. He gave us air to breathe and water to drink and plants and animals and all kinds of awesome things to look at, like mountains and forests and oceans and all kinds of cool stuff. He gave us this awesome world to live in and to take care of, but sometimes we don't do a very good job. Sometimes we waste what he gave us. Sometimes we make it all nasty. And sometimes we just act like we don't even care about what he gave us. We just stay inside all day, and we never go outside, and we don't see the cool stuff God made us. And when we do all that stuff, it's like we're Roscoe. And God is like, "Here you go, everyone. I made you this beautiful world." And we take it and we say, "Oh, thank you, God." And we take the world in our mouth and we go, and then we throw it up on the ground. But that's not what we should be like. We should not be like Roscoe. We should be like my mom and take very good care of the thing that God made us. And so how can we take care of the world that God gave us? Well, one of the ways that we can take care of the world is by recycling. Sometimes some of the stuff that we throw away, it doesn't have to go in the garbage. It doesn't have to go stay in the dump, because there's some stuff like plastics and paper and things where they can take it to a place and they can melt it down or chop it down and make it into something new. And that way it doesn't just go sit at a dump. Another thing you can do is just not waste stuff. God gave us this earth. He gave us all these things, all these resources that we can use, but there's only so much of it. So like when we turn on the lights, that's using up resources that God gave us. So one of the things you can do is not waste electricity, and don't waste water, because it takes energy to make the water clean to drink and clean to, take a bath in and wash the dishes and things like that and brush your teeth. So when you are using water, don't waste it. When you're using light, don't waste it. Well, any kind of electricity, don't just leave things on and running. Another thing that you can do is don't litter. Litter is when you take some garbage that you've got, and instead of throwing it in the trash can like you're supposed to, you just throw it on the ground because you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to go find a trash can. It might not seem like a big deal, just throw one bubblegum wrapper on the ground, but if enough people do that, then we're swimming in bubblegum wrappers, and that's no good. And you can do your part to make things better by not littering. So if you're done with your candy wrapper, don't just throw it out the window, but throw it in the garbage so that it'll go where it needs to go. Another thing you can do is, anything else. Anything you can think of to help make the world a more beautiful place. You know, you could plant a garden, or you could pick up trash, even if it's not your trash. You can go, ask a park ranger if there's something you can do at your local park. There's all kinds of things that you can do to help make the world a better place and show God that we are grateful and thankful for the awesome things that God gave us. You might not be able to totally change the world, but you can take care of the little bit of the world that God gave you. So that's my challenge, is that we'd be grateful to God, and we'd show him that we're thankful for what he gave us and take care of the awesome world he made just for us. Well, I'm going to go put this flower in a vase, but I hope that you will remember that God loves you so much that he gave you the whole earth, and we should take care of it. Bye, guys.
Did you see there how there's lots of different things we can do that we to look after God's world? Now it's time for our songs. This week we're going to have 2 songs. The first one fits in with our story and talks all about how we can care for all the different animals that God's made. The second song is one that we did a couple of weeks ago. It's Jesus, You're My Superhero. You enjoy?
Kangaroo, from the great
you enjoyed all that singing and dancing. Now it is time for our key phrase. I've got Lily has come to join me to help me with these next parts of my video. So we're going to join him and do the key phrase together, Lily. Yeah, and get your fingers ready. Your 5 fingers. I'm going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. World made by God. Okay, do you think we should do it really slowly? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. World made by God. Great. Don't know why I did that quietly as well. We did it slowly and quietly, I think.
Yeah, we did.
And shall we see if we can do it really loud now? Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. World made by God.
Whoa, that was loud for me. Okay. Right. Now it's our prayer time. Lily, would you like to say our prayer for us this week?
Dear God, thank you for making the world. Sorry that we don't always look after it very well. Please help us to care for everything you've made. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thanks, Lily. Now it's time for our craft. This week, as we've been talking about all the world around us, I thought we could go on a little nature hunt. So what you're going to need to do is, as Lily's got here, get a piece of paper and you can pick some colours. You can draw on your paper lots of different colours, and then we're going to go outside and look for those different colours. See if you can see them in the world around you. You can choose different colours to these. These are just some that I chose. Or another way you could do it is Lily.
Is get a egg box, and then put them inside the egg box. And if you don't know what size you need to do, then draw round a penny.
Yeah, we drew around a coin, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you coloured it all in and decorated it all nicely. And Lily and I went out the other day and we did this, and we found lots of different things, didn't we? We found some flowers, and we found some leaves, or some grass, and some pine cones, didn't we? You think of anything else? Was that? So see what you can go and find. If you're careful, you might be able to pick some of the things to bring home with you. But remember, don't touch or pick anything if it's in someone's garden, and only pick flowers and leaves if there are lots of them. And make sure you don't touch or pick anything without a grown-up saying that it's okay. Happy nature hunting, and we'll see you next week.